I climbed from nothing to Grandmaster in less than 10 hours in Marvel Rivals, and I learned a lot about ranked and how players should approach it in order to rank up. So let's talk about the rank system in Marvel Rivals and the 2 ways to tackle it. Since there is no role queue currently in the game, you can either play to stick to a specific role, like Duelist for example, or sit back and fill for every team you play for. In other words, Vanguard 99% of the time because no one plays that boring role. Sorry guys, it's just true. Jokes aside, both of these approaches have their pros and cons, but one clearly wins over the other, and that is just sticking to a role of characters in my opinion. The flex and fill approach is nice because it helps you avoid the awkward games where you are without a tank player and the team is filled with 4 DPS and 4 supports. The problem is that sure, you will win games at the start, but you will not master any of the characters you are playing, so you're at the mercy of your teammates all the time, which is never good in ranked. In ranked, the only controllable variable is you, so you really want to hone in on 2 to 3 characters you can play and pull out at any time no matter the situation to carry with. For example, if you look at my profile, it is very clear that I am a Star-Lord player, but I can also pull out characters like Iron Man if I get a Hulk, Hela if I get target banned, or Invisible Woman if we already have a lot of DPS players. Judging by my playtime though, the times where I am forced to fill are not that often, and that is how it should be in my opinion. By practicing a small subset of characters, you will play more consistently and improve at them faster, making you better at the game and also helping you climb higher. In terms of what characters you should play, that is going to change depending on the meta. The way I think about it though, when I was first picking a main, is one that is good at countering the strongest characters in the game, but aren't too crazy by themselves. This is because I knew that once I got to Diamond, hero bans were getting involved. For example, Hulk gets banned all the time in high elo right now, specifically because of the team up he has with Iron Man that makes him absolutely crazy. I try to avoid Hulk and Iron Man from my hero pool for the time being, just because if my goal is to reach top 500, I want to be strong at someone that can counter that combo, but don't want to invest too much time in the combo myself. Insert Star-Lord, which allows me to counter a meta combo without getting target banned myself. This helped me a lot through my climb throughout Diamond and low Grandmaster. Now, there is nothing wrong with being a flexible player, but at the end of the day, ranked is about carrying shitters, not about playing as a team, as messed up as that sounds. Don't blame your teammates. Pick characters you want to be goated at, lock in, and climb. It's the only way you can consistently do it. This naturally brings us up to the next point, which is, for the love of God, do not blame your teammates, even though we did just call them shitters earlier. You know, they may very well even be the reason why you're losing so many games, but trust me, it happens. But complaining about it brings you down to their level. You have to understand that in order to climb, you have to be as good as the next rank and maybe even a little bit more. That is just how climbing works. The teammates that you are playing with will sometimes also be on a climb, but what is far more likely is that they are stuck in the rank that they are in, meaning it is probably the same for the enemy team. At the end of the day, it all comes down to what you can do for the team on your role to carry and get the W's that will lead you to climb at the end of the day. Sometimes on tank, you will complain that you don't get healing, but maybe there's a Black Panther in the backline absolutely shredding your supports, and you are so tunnel visioned away from that you really don't get any healing. But there is more you could do to keep your supports alive. The same goes for playing Duelist. The Star-Lord ult that you went for that you could have killed 5 if a single bit of healing was sent to you by your Mantis? Yeah, tilting. And she probably could have set up to heal you, but she wasn't good enough to realize what was going on. What you could have done to make it easier for her is to check where she was before you ulted so that you knew you were in her line of sight to receive the support before the fact. Trust me, even I need to get better at that. Supports aren't off the hook either though. Maybe you think your tanks and DPS are pushing in too far without you, or you are mid-reload when they die. Perhaps there were ways to path more efficiently in the fight to help people better when they needed it most, or times you didn't need to waste resources because your team simply did not need them yet. There are so many things that every role can do to carry the rest of the team no matter what rank you're in. Sure, some roles are harder than others, but at the end of the day, if you are consistently outperforming lobbies, eventually you will climb. Keep honing in on your skills and win. The way I think of Marvel Rivals is that you are constantly playing a game of chess, and your teammates are pieces that are there to make it easier for you to win. Help them help you do your job better and climb as a result. Another topic to talk about on the tone of mentality while playing is that sometimes the best way to climb is to know when to stop playing. You have to remember, climbing is about improving and not blaming teammates, since you are the one that climbs or doesn't. Therefore, the moment you start doing this, which is inevitable by the way, you have to just stop. When I was pushing top 50 in Overwatch, the way I did this was after losing twice in a row, I just took a short break and did something else, or just stopped playing for the day entirely. I used the same method in Rivals, although I was pretty locked in on this climb, I can't lie. After taking that break though, it is important that you get up, take your mind off the game, but then go back into the games you lost and begin to understand why you lost. The replay feature is such a great tool that you can utilize in your career profile. Without going into a 5-minute rant on how you're supposed to review your gameplay, specifically go back after you die and ask yourself if there was something you could have done differently to prevent your death. If you died early in the fight, was there a way that you could have been more passive to prevent that, or just played it better in a duel? If you died late in a fight, was there a moment you could have done more to influence the fight in a more meaningful way? These are questions I always ask myself throughout playing and reviewing, and it ultimately makes me a better player as a result. Improving aside, there are some things that you specifically need to think about when playing Marvel Rivals though, and that is understanding the ultimate economy no matter what role you were on. Ultimates are your carry tools in Marvel Rivals, meaning that misusing them will lose you games if your teammates aren't doing well. Misuse of ultimates is easily the #1 mistake I see in lower elos too, even in Grandmaster at times. For example, if you are Star-Lord and the enemy has a Luna Snow, you have to be wary of the fact that you cannot just ult into the team whenever you want. You have to be extra careful of the ultimates they may have to counter yours. How do you stop this though? This could look like trying to find picks fast with the ultimate if someone is detached from the Luna Snow, but it could also look like focusing the Luna Snow with your kits before ulting to either take her out of the fight or force her to use her ultimate early. This tip alone will win you games. On the flip side, as Luna Snow, you should be wary that this is what the enemy team might try to do to you when you do have your ultimate. They are for sure looking to force it out of you somehow, so you should position yourself accordingly. The same goes for if you are tanking. Although, if you are playing someone like Magneto or any character with one-shot ultimates, you can counter this whole play just by being ready to use your ultimate when the enemy uses their support ultimates. Just know that this introduces more complexity where the enemy team might try to block that ultimate. I know I made it sound pretty complicated, but that is why these games are so fun. Practice hard and you'll get it, I promise. Rounding up the last tip that I learned from climbing in this game is that, well, having a duo that you trust for sure makes it easier. While I don't know of a place to specifically find a duo besides my Discord link in the description, there is nothing stopping you from asking that cracked teammate you inevitably find in ranked to hit the grind with you. Not only does this make the game easier to play, it makes it more fun too, and also opens up opportunities for you to abuse some broken team-ups consistently. So after climbing to Grandmaster at a record pace, the summary of everything I learned includes the following. Find your group of characters and get solid with them. Focus on improvement, not blaming and flaming. Don't play tilted and review your deaths. Play with the ultimate economy in mind and find a duo or stack to play with. The list might sound super simple, but in reality, that is what it is. Refine your characters, become solid consistently, and carry games with alacrity. The rank will then follow. If you want more educational Rivals content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you are interested in seeing more of me playing specifically, check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/PazSwagger, or my second channel where I focus on uploading gameplay and VODs of me doing well and also reviewing them occasionally. Other than that, thank you guys all so much for watching, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.